In this Azure function video, I will be showing you in 7 steps how to authenticate against Blob storage using Managed Identity. Step 1. Enable Managed Identity on the function app. Step 2. Within the storage account, assign the RBAC role Storage Blob Data Owner to the function app. Step 3. Go back to the function app and within the app files, update the host.json file to the following. Step 4. In the function app configuration settings, add a new application setting with the following naming convention and value. The prefix on the name can be whatever you determine it to be, but it must be followed by 2 underscores and the words service and URI in the format shown. For the value, you will provide the name of your storage account you are wanting to authenticate against inside the URL shown here. Step 5. Go to your function code and update the function.json file with the following. The prefix you set on the application setting name needs to match the value you give to the connection property in the function.json file. This JSON object can go anywhere inside the bindings array. Step 6. Go to your index.js and update with the following code. The context.bindings.myOutputBlob is the code that interacts with the blob storage. The JavaScript code selecting the binding needs to have the same name as the value you give the binding name property in step 5. I have it called myOutputBlob in the example shown. And last, step 7, test your function. Now let's jump into the portal and get to the demo. I already have the Azure services deployed, but nothing is configured yet. So let's first jump into the Azure function app and go to the Identity tab and turn that on. Once that's on, we can back out of here and move on to step 2. Step 2 is moving to the storage account where we can go to the Access Control tab and click Add a Role Assignment and scroll down to where you find Storage Blob Data Owner. Select this, add the Manage Identity, search for your function app, select your function app's identity, hit select, and then confirm this. Once that has been saved, we can now go back to the function app. And here we'll want to go to app files. In the host.json file, we'll want to update to this most recent value. You can find this in Microsoft documentation. Next, we'll want to go to the configuration tab. And here we'll want to add a new application setting. We'll click New Application Setting. We will set the prefix to blob storage, but of course you can name it anything. You just have to have the 2 underscores service URI. And then paste in the URI, blob storage URL. Hit save here. Now click the Functions tab, and let's go ahead and create a new function. Here we'll select HTTP trigger, just name our function app. We'll call it create blob file, and we'll hit create. Once our Azure function has been created, we can go into the code. We'll click the drop down here, go to function.json. And here we can paste in our new binding. Like mentioned earlier, you can name whatever the name property that you want, and the connection needs to match whatever the application setting was. Hit save, go back to the index.js file, and we can replace this code with just a simple template here. You can obviously have any logic you want here, but this is just a demo writing to a blob storage. So we can test this. We can put in any JSON body that we want into the request. Here, I'm just gonna have the name property Azure, and then add another random property. I'll just call this Azure service, and we'll just call it function. And then I can hit run. This was successful, and now we can go check the blob storage. And we can see container 1, we have an azure.json file with the properties that we had set. And that's all there is to it. Feel free to go back and pause the video on any step that may seem confusing. I'll also put some Microsoft documentation links in the video description. Thanks for watching and have a great day.